So today here, it's the 10th of January, it's a Wednesday, and I'm very conscious for when we have deliveries and people giving us quotes and things, our Christmas trees are still out and I need to put them away, obvs. And the fact that we've got 3, well, that's a whole other issue. And we've got loads of decorations over there ready to store away. But that is what today is all about. Instead of boarding the attic, like I said I would with the MDF that I got for free from my dad's wood yard, I've decided to turn them into shelves. I was going to go out and buy some, but he said, use that up and go and get some more. So I'm going to do that. And on news about boarding it up, because I have a lot of things to think about, because I don't want to compress the existing insulation that we've topped it up to, because now it's a maximum of 300 mil. We had an EPC man come round the very next day after I last filmed, and guess what? We've now gone from an E to a D. Now that might not sound amazing, but if you look around the place, there's still things that we need to do to try and get it a bit better. The EPC man said that the double glazing on this side, now this is probably the original double glazing, not the original doors, because we know that there is a wooden one at the other side of the house with a porch surrounding it. So it makes it a little bit warmer. But these probably are the first double glazing that they upgraded to. The dog is hungry. Are you interrupting me? You've got food. So these will be the first double glazing lot that they upgraded to. And these apparently don't have any gas in them like the ones at the front. So it's things like this that we'll plan to replace eventually anyway. And a few things, what else? So in order to get a C, we need some storage heaters. Now I'd ignore these are archaic and I think only 2 of them work. Solar water heating, solar panels, that is definitely on the cards for this year. And floor insulation. By the way, if you've got any recommendations to insulate, retrofit insulation on a solid concrete floor, because it's solid concrete all throughout, I don't want to be digging anything up, let me know your recommendations. Currently, I'm thinking about going for silver padded foil and then maybe a sheet of plywood temporarily on top, and then we'll look at some hard flooring and stuff. Don't know yet. I've still got loads of research to do, but if you could lead me in the right direction, that would be fantastic. So let me show you the pile of MDF that I'm going to use, if you've not seen it before, and the plan of how I'm going to put all the shelving up. So yeah, it's around here. So this is all the MDF that I'm going to be using. They're all in different lengths, and I've noticed that most of them are 600 mil wide, and the odd one is 650 millimeter wide. So I'm going to be trimming down any that are wider to match. So they're going to be 600 mil deep, and I'm going to be fitting them between the rafters with some support. Now I've already been up there and done a little bit of a sample test, and I've got I'm going to use CLS. It's just cheaper. Now if you try and go for slimmer wood, I could rip it down, but my dad said just go with CLS. Even if you buy slats, it's significantly more, and obviously I want to keep this cost down because we've got solar panels to save up for. Just to make sure we are on the same page, let me do a very brief demonstration so you can get a visual at the same time. I've been dreading doing this job because it's even more cold up here now, and I hate working in the cold. I'm glad I don't live in a colder country. So hopefully you can see this well. But by the time I make sure all of the MDF sheets are 600 mil deep, I'm going to be fitting them in between this space. So that is 600 millimeters. Now I don't want it too snug to the rafters because I have noticed that the odd one is slightly out. So I want to give myself a bit of allowance just so I can make sure it's even as I go. And I will be using spirit levels for this. So I'm going to raise it a touch, and these sheets will be running that way, and I've got my studs that I'll be fixing to the sides here. And so once I've got these level, I know that's going to seat my 600, which is, yeah, that's probably about right. Get my spirit level there, and bang some screws in from this side to the rafters, and just keep going and going all the way. And I'm going to be doing the other side as well. Now the reason I've picked these areas is I won't have anything sat on the floor. I will be putting a lip at the back so I know that things aren't going to roll off, and these are just going to be out of the way. But I also want to make sure I'm not going to do it on everyone, because I still need access to get to the other side, because that is where the living room is. It's an L-shaped bungalow. So if I haven't said it already, these are 750 millimeters long, or 75 centimeters, and it all depends on the angle of these tension webs is what they're called. Let's just say angled rafters. So yours might be completely different. But bear in mind, I'm not going to be cramming everything in here. This is just for the occasional thing that you use once a year, or a blue moon, Christmas tree, or maybe a bread maker that you use once every 5 years. I don't own one of those, but you get the gist. Right, let's get cracking. Because these MDF sheets are different lengths, I know that I'm going to have to cut quite a few so that they join together and sit on these studs. So what I'm going to do first is just cut a load of these, drill and screw them on, make sure they're level, and then we'll do that after. Lovely jubbly. And PPE. So stop block, it's already set up. Let's just plunk that on the dog trailer that we've got in here. Hey, that was a great buy. Dog trailer for a bike. These are broken, by the way. I can't listen to music through them anymore, which is really sad. I need 24 of these, roughly. Mr. TCD's got a bit of firewood with every cut on here. I wonder if it's time I've changed that blade. So now I've cut a load of these, I need to put some pilot holes in the ends and put some screws in, and I can take them up and just bang them in, make sure they're level. Keep saying that. Let's get my screwdriver, which is around here. I'm coming back. So I've lined a load up so I can transfer the same drill holes on each one and match them up with the first one. Now this is the one that I cut right from the start, got it level, and I marked my drill holes so I know they're going to hit the rafters. So I need a pencil again. I keep putting those down. I've had to get another pencil because I lost the first one, and now I've lost that one. Hey! I've staggered them because the rafters go on an angle, and I want 2 screws in because if one fails, I've got that other one as an extra safety precaution. And I've gone for 2 thinner screws rather than 1 thick one because I don't want them to split any wood. And I'm not going all the way through, just a little bit, because I can't find a thin enough drill bit around here. So I've already got my level lines drawn on these 2 rafters, but how I got it was I've got 60 centimetres here, which is the depth of my shelves, and I've placed it around there, made sure I've had about a centimetre clearance on either side. So to get this level, what I've done is just put this against the rafters, then I've got a little boat level, a small one, held it on top, made sure that is level. So let's just adjust that lower, just get the bubble dead centre, and then marked on the rafters where that is positioned. So that is my starting point. And by the way, I'm making sure these are central, so it's got the same amount of overhang on the rafters. These aren't good screws. They just broke. I'm not chuffy nappy. Right, one screw's already snapped on me, so I'm going to have to put another one in. I've just treated myself to some new screws. Turns out they're a bit rubbish. I've now got a stupid thing that you can catch your clothes on. Right, now I've got the starting point. I'm going to get a long spirit level. Line it up with that, and now I can do my pencil lines there. I know they're about that. For a helping hand, I temporarily clamp my next batten to the same height as the back while also making it level with my boat level. Once screwed, it allows me to push a batten in the middle up to the spirit level without clamping and repeat. But this trick works much better with a really long spirit level along the back. Let's keep going. It definitely helps to have some boards down here so you can at least walk around. So now I've got the spirit level resting on 2 of these, which are level. I can then offer up my next support and push it up to the spirit level, get this level with the boat level and screw that in and keep repeating. You can easily lose your tools in this insulation. So as I'm getting closer to the end of the house. I'm now going to have to add the supports on this side so I can get to them. Oh, and if you're wondering, I'm using 70mm screws. Hurrah! One done. Another side to go. Move on to the next. And now I'm ready to cut our shelving, which is 18mm thick. I use my Works compact saw with its own guide, which I prefer to use in general because it's so light and handy while being propped up on offcuts of wood to create a clearance for my blade. I've got heavier ones, but why fight it? So they're now all cut to 600mm deep, but I'm going to take this one up in particular and fit it towards the back because I know I can get that up there and it fits without cutting it because I've got a little bit of clearance on the very last one where it then meets the brick wall. So I'm going to put that up first, but I'll definitely have to cut some of these. Well, I'm pretty sure I will. So we'll take this one up first. Work smarter, not harder. Well, this might not be that smart. Oh, definitely use steel toe cap. Oh, ha. Right. Okie doke. Oh, it's nice up here. And obviously it's warmer now because all our heat's escaping up here with the hatch open. Please fit. Yes. Right. I'm hoping it's bang on. Yes. Making sure that is halfway between the support I've done and then my next one can continue. It's getting late now, so I just want to get a load of cuts done and then we'll come back and make a load of noise screwing it down. Okay, so I've got another shorter one at the back there. That needs trimming down because they're not all the same length, remember. But we've brought the boards up and realised that if we use the shorter ones, we're going to be left with too much wastage. So I'm going to have to ask my cameraman to help me lift this very big one and put one on there and another very big one and put it on there. And we'll be able to move it back and forth to get the right measurements, cut them in situ. Might need a little dust extractor though on my little saw because I don't want MDF dust to be flying around in here and staying in here. At least I can hoover it up while it's on the concrete floor. And just like magic, it's now up. Women, know your limits. So yeah, I wasn't risking that doing it on my own and then accidentally putting my foot through the ceiling. No chance. It reaches halfway here and joins my existing one. I was definitely right to make it a little bit higher to give myself allowance because they're not all exact. So where this has landed, it looks like I've either got to cut it down here or add another piece of timber. I think we'll go for another piece of timber so we don't have to mess about cutting. So because the boards aren't the same length, I think the larger ones are exactly the same, but the shorter ones aren't. I'm going to mark where I need to cut it or where I want to cut it. So it goes halfway on this join there. As some of you probably know, I don't have a workshop set up right now, so everything's in boxes and I can't find the dust extractor to this. So I've had to go for the makeshift food bag and 2 cable ties. And because my guide is set up on this side, I'm going to cut over there and move it along. Saves me messing about. Didn't catch anything anyway. Oh. Hi. Thanks for the help, guys. This one. Right. Good, hopefully that's going to fit. Yes. I'm going to have to push this up temporarily. Work out where I need to, how much I need to cut off on the other side. Now I'm securing the shelving by adding a series of smaller wood screws to the battens. So it got a bit noisy last night up here using an impact driver. These are not quiet, but what I did was actually hand sawed some of the offcuts of trim that I had, and I've cut them where they join between a rafter. So it's a bit intermittent, but it will do. And another thing that I could do later on, but I think it's going to be expensive. I'll have a look for some materials as I go. It would be good to have some clear perspex just to be screwed to the upper bit so nothing ever falls down there and it doesn't block any daylight to get access. Whoa there, Pickle! Obviously, I didn't mean daylight, I meant artificial light. That would be dear if I bought it brand new. If I see any as I go, I'll be buying it. Sorry, I'll be trying to get it for free. Usually in skips and stuff. So now I just want to add some screws all the way around onto the rafters, and then we're going to start filling it with our Christmas rubbish, Christmas stuff. Also, just to show you what we had left over, all of the MDF is up here, and I tell you what, even just walking on them, I know I shouldn't compress it because it makes it less efficient. I've heard about 50% less efficient. This is making me think I quite like this as it is, but yeah, still share some ideas, please. I still want to raise it and get a bit of airflow because it shouldn't be touching it just in case we ever get condensation. Done. This is solid as a rock. Right, so that's that part done. We'll bring up the Christmas decorations and we'll see what space we've got left. Maybe at a later date we'll add some more. So as you can see, all of our Christmas stuff is up here now, and it turned out it was the perfect place to put all of our old DVDs and CDs, which we've barely touched, but we don't want to part with them because obviously we bought them, they cost a lot of money. But everything we do now, we just watch streaming services or listen to music online. But yeah, please, please let me know what you do differently and let me know about any ideas you've got for loft boarding. Not the whole lot, it's really this area and a few bits over there. I really don't want to go down the loft peg route. I don't trust them, and I've heard they warp and they can do pinpointing on your plasterboard. So I'd rather try and go down the wood method. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.